Welcome friends to DEKB7QHC, and in this episode I'm going to do my first sea story. Sea story is slang from the Navy for a tall tale, should we say. And it's very distinctive in that it starts, well, if you were to tell a child a fairy tale, it would start out once upon a time. But in the tradition of the Navy, the sea story always starts out, this ain't no shit. So, proceeding from there, I'm going to talk about a time when I was in the Navy, of course. That was, my time was occupied with not my teaching duties, but taking care of students between classes. That would typically be 1 to 2 weeks in length. And myself, I was in service as the head of, the technical head of a TV repair business in the Navy. Let's not call it a business. It was a charity benefit that the captain, one of the captain's Christmas projects. And I was in charge of accepting televisions from all over the San Francisco Bay Area region, largely those that people wanted to, well, they were ready to release them, give them up. They were going to trade them in, but the Navy asked for them, and they thought, okay. And the Navy took everything, absolutely everything, and some very, very old televisions, some that you had to lift the lid up on the top to reveal a mirror looking down at the tube, which was no bigger than that. And that's the era of the late 1940s, or even mid-40s. Yeah, I worked on those too. Or actually, myself and my crew, we all worked on these. I guess there was about a dozen ETs in various stages of training, and they were there to enhance their troubleshooting skills, because I had spent several years in the TV repair shops when I was in high school, and repairing my own TVs in the basement and so on and so forth. I've been shocked by all the potentials that you can find behind that interlock in the back. Yeah, I defeated the interlock, and I taught my charges how to build what we called a cheater cord. Well, let's just look at the televisions and see what era that I'm speaking of. This is a typical floor standing model from the let's call it the mid-1950s. It's you'll notice it has, this is the bass speaker and 2 treble speakers. Believe me, there's no left and right channels back then. This was strictly mono, as was the picture on the picture tube. That was mono as well. No color, at least not in this, not in production. This is the channel knob. This is probably the volume control, and these are various synchronization controls to keep this screen from rolling up and down or left to right. Horizontal and vertical stability would be what that called. And this might be a contrast knob, although some of the functions are around back behind. Now, my shop had, let's see. My shop had, goodness. This was on Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay, and we were using a World War II shed. Shed is, well, much like what we are in here. Similar construction, open ceiling beams and such, and it wasn't even the interior walls weren't even lined. They were just bare studs. But it was about, I would say about 1,000 square feet, maybe 2,000 square feet, somewhere in there, and had a center bench full of equipment and televisions, and both sides had similar benches that lined the walls, and along the wall here, going all the way around, we had a 1 inch thick, 1 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick copper strap running the entire length of the building, all the way around at about chair height, chair back height. We had something on the order of, I think, about 200 televisions in there and about 150 radios. And it was our task to check them out and then move them on to the charities that the captain wanted to support with working televisions. So we were taking in everybody's derelicts, or some were even mint condition, like a full Magnavox entertainment center with polished ebony finish and beautiful, beautiful. Or, well, we return to, oops, we return to this one. That's a fairly standard television. And there was about, like I said, about 200 of these in various forms and formats. Some were portable, some were like this, some were in consoles. Cabinetry just varied across the board. And what we did was, well, we turned them around and opened them up. This is far more exposed. There's no cabinet here at all. But this is what that television might have looked like from the inside, looking from behind. And right down here, let's see. Well, down here is the power cord. And it is riveted to this cage. This is the high voltage gauge, and it is feeding the television the Aquadag cover portion of this. This is both a shielding and and it tracks stray electrons. So this is about a potential of somewhere between 12 and 15,000 volts. In a color TV, that would be double that easily. We have various tubes. This is the power transformer coming in from the wall. Yes, we do have the interlock over here, but it's going over to here. That helps in troubleshooting, but we drill out these rivets and take this cord and apply it to. There's a two-prong connector on the other side of this wall. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? Well, we've seen the TV. And here is a conventional block diagram for a typical monochrome television receiver, where the signal comes in here through the tuner, is converted into intermediate frequency, the video is detected, amplified again, and going straight to the first grid. The video detector also separates out the sound, which is then amplified through intermediate frequencies, then demodulated, and then amplified. These circuits down here are maintaining the drive to these deflection coils. Now, I'm not going to teach you television here. That's that can come in another episode, because conventional television is a world of modulation techniques all combined into one signal that's 5 megahertz wide with guard channels. It's also it has FM, it has pulse modulation certainly. Well, and television, the picture content and color separation as well. It wasn't shown in that. So there's lots of circuitry that goes to taking apart a television signal, which is classified as vestigial sideband. I won't go into the requirements of vestigial sideband, but I'm going to wrap this up, just a short C story. Oh, no, the claim of the C story is, of those 200 televisions that we took in and 150 radios, we turned out 100 repaired televisions, or serviceable televisions. And let's see. And we turned out 1 or 200 televisions and certainly 100 radios. This was all done in the space of about 6 weeks. So my crew turned and burned, as the expression went. And I taught them some interesting troubleshooting techniques whereby, well, I'll save that for another C story. It's amusing. Until then, 73 is all.